Today, I traded every team's best player to their biggest rival because I'm Jerry Jones. Now, obviously, this was inspired by the Cowboys' genius idea to trade Micah Parsons to the Packers, because why would you pay your all-pro edge rusher when you could trade him for draft picks that could be anything?
A boat's a boat, but the mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat.
And I'll show you everyone that got moved when we check out the season stats. But first, we have to check out the Steelers in game, because for this video, the Ravens were forced to send the Steelers Lamar Jackson, the Bengals had to send them Jamar Chase, and the Browns had to send them Myles Garrett. Now, I think it goes without saying that pretty much every trade I made in this video would never happen in real life, but that's literally the point of the video, because a week ago, I would tell you the Cowboys would never trade their best player in conference, and especially to the team that always knocks them out of the playoffs. And since Jerry Jones clearly knows better than us all, I thought it'd be funny to take it to its most extreme and do it with every team. And since the Steelers are the biggest rival for their entire division, they definitely got the biggest upgrades at the most important skill positions, gaining 3 of the best players in the league just for being the other team's biggest rival. They were forced to send their best player, TJ Watt, to the Ravens. But the real question is, will Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, and Myles Garrett be enough to get this team past the wildcard round? And the Packers started this whole video off when the Cowboys traded them Micah Parsons. But just like the title of the video says, the Bears were forced to trade them Joe Thuney, the Lions had to send over Amon-Ra St. Brown, and the Vikings had no choice but to give them Justin Jefferson. Now, just like we saw with the Steelers, the Packers are the biggest rival for all 3 teams in their division, which is important to mention because some teams got 1 player and other teams got more than 1, and some teams only gave up a player without getting any back in return, because some teams like the Packers are the biggest rival of multiple teams. But I literally just went team by team saying the best player to whichever team in the league made the most sense, and when I wasn't sure, I looked it up on Reddit to get those fans' opinions. But you can just yell at me in the comments when I inevitably pick the wrong rival team. But now we can sim to the playoffs to see how much trading away every team's best player changed things up. And we'll start out in the AFC. We're in the East. The Jets won the division going 11-6, with the Bills also making the playoffs at 9-8. And to make this as easy as possible to follow, I'll show you where each team sent their best player as we go through division by division. Starting off with the Jets, who were forced to trade Sauce Gardner to the Patriots. And honestly, that's all right, because the Patriots had to send Christian Gonzalez to the Jets. And honestly, both guys had decent years on their new teams, but the Jets got 1 more player when the Dolphins sent them Tyreek Hill. And I know you're probably thinking it's unfair that the Jets gained 2 players while the Dolphins got none. Don't blame me, blame Jerry Jones. I'm literally following his example. And last for this division, I had the Bills send Josh Allen to the Chiefs. And because I love chaos in these videos, I forced the Chiefs to send Patrick Mahomes to the Bills. And I think it's pretty clear how this works now, so we can go a little quicker. Moving to the NFC North, where the Steelers and Bengals made the playoffs. But in the AFC South, the Jaguars got the 1 seed at 12-5, even though they sent Josh Hines-Allen to the Titans. The Texans sent Derek Stingley Jr. to the Colts, who also gained Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans. And the Colts sent Quentin Nelson to the Patriots. And lastly in the West, the Chiefs and Broncos made the playoffs. The Chargers sent Rashawn Slater to the Raiders. The Raiders sent Max Crosby to the Broncos. And the Broncos sent Pat Surtain to the Raiders. So now we can move on to the NFC. The Cowboys and Giants had insane years in the NFC East, and the Cowboys kicked this off with the Parsons trade, so I didn't make them do another, but they did gain a player when the Commanders were forced to send them Scary Terry. The Giants sent Dexter Lawrence to the Eagles, and hilariously, the Eagles had to give the Giants Saquon Barkley back. In the North, the Packers and Lions both made the playoffs, and it's no surprise the Packers won 13 games with the additions they got, and they only lost Xavier McKinney when they sent him to the Bears. But moving to the South, the Saints and Falcons made the playoffs. The Saints actually had to give up Demario Davis to the Falcons. The Falcons had to give up Jesse Bates to the Saints, as well as the Bucks giving them Tristan Wirfs, and the Panthers also giving them Derek Brown. And last for the NFC, the Niners were the only team to make it out of the West, even though they had to trade George Kittle to the Cowboys. But they were lucky that the Rams had to send them Devontae Adams, plus the Seahawks had to send them Devin Witherspoon, and the Cardinals had to send the Seahawks Trey McBride. But wow, Jordan Love led the league with 5,200 yards with 41 touchdowns. But oh my god, Justin Fields had 4,400 yards and led the league with 50 touchdowns. Josh Allen now on the Chiefs had 4,136. Lamar on the Steelers had 3,927. And Mahomes on the Bills had 3,833. Saquon Barkley back on the Giants led the league in rushing yards, but was second in touchdowns behind Josh Jacobs, who got 22. Justin Jefferson led the league in receiving yards with 2K and added 15 touchdowns. But Tyreek Hill on the Jets had 1,723. St. Brown on the Packers even had 1,619. 14. Jamar Chase on the Steelers had 1,311, and Scary Terry on the Cowboys had 1,107 touchdowns. Oh my God. Micah Parsons, now on the Packers, led the league with 27.5 sacks. And TJ Watt, now on the Ravens, had 25.5. But I mean, I think we know who won MVP. Oh my God. How is it always Burrow? I thought it was definitely gonna be Love. He literally had more yards and more touchdown passes and only a slightly lower completion percentage. Madden 26 is just obsessed with Burrow winning MVP. But anyway, this is gonna be our playoff bracket for this season. So we'll start out in the wild card round with the Bengals down by 7 against the Chiefs. I'm really interested to see what this offense looks like without Jamar Chase, but Burrow's gonna take a huge sack on 3rd down. So now it's 4th and 15. The season's on the line here, and Burrow's getting sacked again. And I mean, it's gotta be over, right? Well, yeah, that touchdown definitely seals it. So the Chiefs take down the Bengals 28-14. We'll have to check out Josh Allen in the next round. Next up, the Packers destroyed the Lions. Honestly, not surprising for how good Jordan Love was this season. So next up, we got the Broncos versus the Jets. And I was excited to see Justin Fields play after the insane year he had. And no joke, on the Jets' first drive of the game, he hit Tyreek Hill for a 73-yard touchdown pass that he somehow caught over 2 defenders. So yeah, I think I know how this game's gonna go. Oh, never mind. This is much closer than I expected. But the Jets are at the goal line with under 2 minutes to go, and Breece Hall is able to easily punch that one in to give the Jets the 28-13 win. It is very weird to see Justin Fields play this well. Next, the Niners took down the Falcons. And last up for the AFC, we got the Steelers with a late lead against the Bills. But Lamar was able to kill any chance for a Pat Mahomes comeback when he hit DK Metcalf in the back of the end zone for the perfect toe tap touchdown, giving them the 23-6 win. Maybe Lamar will have better playoff luck on the Steelers. But last up for this round, we got the Giants versus the Saints. This is by far the strangest result of this video. Like, I don't understand how both of these teams did so well. I mean, I guess the Giants do make a little bit of sense since they have Saquon Barkley, and apparently also Jackson Dart at quarterback. I mean, even a field goal probably does it, but Dart's gonna run and get all the way in for the touchdown to give the Giants the 17-3 win. So now moving on to the divisional round, we'll start with the Chiefs versus Jags. I do not understand what happened to make the Jaguars go 12-5 this year. Like, they traded away Josh Hines-Allen and gained nobody, but Lawrence steps up in the pocket and he's gonna unload a deep shot here, and Brian Thomas burned his defender and he's got it for the touchdown. Okay, well, maybe it makes sense how this team went 12-5. God, it feels so weird to see Josh Allen in a Chiefs uniform. But he's got a minute and a half and 3 timeouts to try to get the touchdown to tie this game up. Thought he was gonna get sacked there, but he's actually got him all the way up to midfield and out of bounds, which is great to stop the clock. And he's actually gonna throw deep too, and he is wide open. How was Xavier Worthy that far from any defender? Like, that was ridiculously easy for them. I forgot to mention too that for this simulation, I set the game style to competitive. Like, I really feel like the end of the game is where the simulation game style really struggles the most. They're moving the ball so easily. So I wanted to try out competitive to see if we get any different kind of results. But now the Jags have the lead once again. That was Lawrence's 4th touchdown pass of the game, by the way. So now the pressure's right back to Josh Allen and the Chiefs, but they only have 1 timeout to work with, and that's in the middle of the field. Because now if they're lucky, they'll get 1 more shot as they spike it with 6 seconds. It really feels like the game does not know how to use the sideline very late, but they are in position for a deep shot. And oh my God, it's caught by Kelsey, but he's down at the 2, so the Jags hold on to win. That was an insane final 2 minutes. So next up is the Niners versus Packers, and it's 4th and 13 for the Niners from their own 22. If they don't convert, it's going to be over, and they actually are going to get it to Juwan Jennings. With only 1 timeout, if they didn't pick that up, the game was going to be over, and he's going to get sacked. Now it's 4th and 15. This is basically the game on the line, and he's wide open down the middle. That got them to the 5, and they used that last timeout, and he's got Devontae across the middle for the touchdown. I am so glad the guy I traded to the team actually did something. And oh my God, they're going for 2. Why are they going for 2 and not just taking the... Oh my God, are they going to get it? No, he's short. Why would you not just kick the extra point to tie it up? So now they need the onside kick or this game's over. But luckily for the Packers, Amon-Ra St. Brown is there to scoop it up. So they get the 1-point win to go to the NFC Championship. I still cannot believe the Niners chose to go for 2. So next we'll move on to the Jets versus Steelers. It's crazy with all the offensive talent Pittsburgh has. They've only managed a single touchdown in this game. That was a massive first down for them. So even though they've struggled offensively, they're not dead yet. Metcalf's gonna get another first and get all the way down to the 7. And they've left the clock running, so there's 30 seconds. Lamar's gonna check check down to Warren, and he's able to find the corner to get the touchdown to give them the 1-point lead. Now, Justin Fields had the best season of his life, but he's got 20 seconds and only one timeout to get him in field goal range. And they only gained 7, and they used that last timeout, which I don't love. He's gonna throw, and it gets him almost to the 40, and they will have enough time to spike this down with 6 seconds on the clock. Tomlin will try to ice him, which I'm pretty sure will do nothing for the sim. But now the thicker kicker, Harrison Mevis, has to hit a 58-yard kick to send them to the AFC Championship, and he nails it. So the Jets take down the Steelers. And last for the NFC, we got the Giants versus Cowboys. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the Giants sim ridiculously well in Madden 26, but oh my god, they got destroyed in this game. So I guess let's go to the AFC Championship, where we got the surprising matchup of the Jets versus Jags. I literally feel forced to say this anytime the Jets do well in any video I make. Why is he so open? There's literally not a single guy around him. I was gonna say, I obviously did not force this. Like, I don't care if the Jets do well in any video I make. Like, I feel like by this point you guys know that, but I still feel kind of obligated to say it. I mean, they're obviously in field goal range. Mevis hit from 58 in the last game. But Fields is gonna take off, and he's got space in front of him. He's gonna gain like 15. Now they're at the 13 with under a minute and still have 2 timeouts. He's gonna run again, and he looks like he's gonna go. So they use that last timeout, and it's 3rd and 2. He's going to the end zone, and Mason Taylor literally could not be more open. But that was a great drive by Fields to take the lead. Now Lawrence will have to go 70 yards downfield to get the touchdown if they want to win. Now they're at the 29. They use that last timeout. There's 10 seconds. Lawrence is throwing to the end zone, and it's caught. That was an insane grab by Brian Thomas Jr. to take the lead. Now with 8 seconds and no timeouts, I mean, this has to be a Hail Mary. Fields is gonna throw to the sideline. He's got Garrett Wilson. They've got a chance if he gets out of bounds, but he's not able to, so the Jags are going to the Super Bowl. But will they face the Packers or Cowboys? Also, we have to acknowledge how insanely lucky I got that in a video that only exists because of these two teams and the Micah Parsons trade, this is the matchup we got for the NFC Championship. Oh, you know what? I got a Packers helmet signed by Jordan Love and a Cowboys helmet signed by Zeke. So whichever team wins this game, I'll give away that team's helmet. So if you want a chance to win, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button too while you're at it, and make sure to leave a comment on this video with your prediction for how your favorite team is going to do this year. The more detail and in-depth you get, the better. And on the day when the Cowboys and Packers play in week 4, I'll pick a winner from the comments of this video. And we got a tie game. Like, this literally could not be any more perfect for me, and he hits Jaden Reed, who has a ton of space up the sideline. He's gonna get all the way down to the 10. In an offense with Jefferson and St. Brown, I would not pick Reed to throw the ball to. But honestly, what do I know? Because they've worked the ball downfield very easily, and Love hits Justin Jefferson, who actually breaks the tackle and gets real close to the end zone. From the 1 now, you gotta use Josh Jacobs. Or you know what? That works pretty well too. Like, this team went 13-4. I don't know why I'm talking like I think I know better than them. Now, the thing that would really make this game perfect is Micah Parsons getting a sack or somehow forcing a turnover. There is a man in the backfield. What is going on? He's so offsides. What just happened? Yeah, no that was offsides. Nate Hobbs could not have been more offsides. I have never seen that glitch happen. I mean, it must have happened because they're running hurry up, but CD's gonna get the first down and get past the 15 inside the 10. Now we got 40 seconds and they're at the 9. Dak's gonna throw. He's got time. And ooh, I thought that was picked. Luckily, Pickens got out of bounds with about 30 seconds. Dak's gonna throw across the middle and hits George Kittle to tie this game up. So this game's going overtime. And the Packers got the ball first and drove it all the way downfield for the easy Josh Jacobs rushing touchdown. Almost like the Cowboys would have benefited from having an all-pro defender on the field. But Jerry Jones literally said they would stop the run better without Micah. That is the Jerry Jones way, though, is that he thinks he knows better than everyone else around him, and he doesn't really listen. Wait, pause. How is CeeDee Lamb so open? What the hell just happened? The game ended and the Cowboys lost by what? I went to sim the extra point and the game just ended. Oh my God, they went for 2 and didn't get it. Why did it not show me the play? Whatever, the Packers won, so we're gonna give away the Jordan Love helmet, and they're gonna take on the Jags in the Super Bowl. Late in this game, they're tied at 17, and the Packers got the ball at the 43 with about a minute and a half to go, and Jacobs is going nowhere. Honestly, not a bad idea to run the ball because it keeps the clock moving. Like, you don't want to give it back to the Jags too early. This is where the Packers just need to run the ball and try to milk clock and the Jags timeouts. Like, even if you have to settle for the kick, you don't want to give them the ball back with any timeouts. Love's gonna run, I think. He's actually gonna finally scramble forward. He got to the 6 on that weird slow motion run, and he throws across the middle, and he's got St. Brown for the touchdown to take the lead with under a minute to go in this game. So the Jags got 45 seconds and 1 timeout to go 70 yards. He's gonna throw it to the sideline. He's gotta get out of bounds, and thankfully he does. We love it when Madden Sim does the logical thing like a real team would do in real life. That was very bad. Was that Micah Parsons? It was Micah Parsons, and that was his 2nd sack of the game. Ooh, baby, I love that that was Micah Parsons. Like, that's the whole thing I wanted to see this entire video. And that couldn't have come at a better time. There's 30 seconds. It's 3rd and 5. He checks down. He does pick up the first, but they got no timeout, so they're going to have to rush up to spike the ball, and they kill it with 16. They're at the 41 now. If they don't use the sideline, they might be able to get off one more play. It's going to be a real tough one. Now the clock is going under 5. I don't know if they're going to get this off. And they do with 2 seconds, so this is it. He's got to go to the end zone. He throws, and it's nearly picked. So the Packers win the Super Bowl. I literally could not have scripted this to be better if I tried. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment on this video for a chance to win the Jordan Love helmet. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Be good people.